Do you want to be in the Champions League though? As a Chelsea fan, and you look at the team and how they performed in the league, do you think having Champions League as well on top of that next season is what you guys need right now? Do you think you guys are better off in the maybe Europa League so you can kind of play your B team again?
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest. Chelsea fans, don't come for me. I don't want to see our team in the Champions League next season. Don't come for me. Let me explain. Yo, welcome back to Mentor Boys, the podcast that gives you vibes, culture, and two men down under, giving you nothing but the greatest football news going. And today, let's talk about the journey to the fourth place or the Champions League.
Top five.
For Chelsea. The boys in blue. London is always going to be blue. And because of Arsenal's disgraceful loss in the UCL, London still stays blue. London still stays blue because Chelsea is still the only team in London to have Champions League trophy.
I was like, where the hell is this guy going with this?
I love that, and I like to keep that on me.
We're talking about the top five, but I think the top two is pretty much solidified.
That's dumb.
It could change if Arsenal will lose their last match and City win both their matches.
And then,
but I do not see it happen. I feel like at worst, I think Arsenal will probably draw, and that should be enough.
Look,
but it was a big win against Newcastle. Big win for Chelsea against United.
Yeah, look, well, I'm happy. I'm happy with the results of United because after losing to Newcastle, which is like...
Yeah, you felt hard done by it.
Man, it was hard because...
It was a weird match.
It was a weird-ass match. We played better with 10 men than we played with 11 men. It was so weird for me. The red card, I feel like, played a big part with the game because we could have came back. Yeah. We could have left that game with a draw. And that would have changed a lot of things, especially with the way the table is looking. It's such a close table.
If you guys won that match against Newcastle,
I think everything,
and then win against United, you don't have to worry about the last game.
We wouldn't have to worry about it. But at this moment in time, as we speak...
But you guys have done it right since last time we talked about Chelsea and how many matches they had to play. And we say, we talk about, this match, you guys have to win at least 2 of these matches. Because Chelsea has had a harder fixture in the last 5 matches 100%. Than everyone else.
Our run, our last 5 was a hard run. And we spoke about it. And we said, Chelsea has to win this amount of matches. You can only lose one, which we have. We lost one. We can't lose again. Otherwise, our race to the Champions League is done.
Do you want to be in the Champions League though? As a Chelsea fan, and you look at the team and how they performed in the league, do you think having Champions League as well on top of that next season is what you guys need right now? Do you think you guys are better off in the maybe Europa League so you can kind of play your B team again?
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest. Chelsea fans, don't come for me. I don't want to see our team in the Champions League next season. Don't come for me. Let me explain. I don't think our team is ripe enough.
It's not equipped.
It's not equipped. I don't think we have what it takes.
You don't have the facilities.
You don't have the facilities, big man. I don't think our team has what it takes right now to make it any further than the league stages. You know what I mean?
I think you make it through the league stages because now there's a knockout stage where it's a playoff stage.
Playoff stage.
So you can make it to the playoff stage, depending on what team you play, the question.
That's what I mean. And I feel
but you make money in the Champions League though, even in the league phase.
So which I guess is a good thing for us. But
okay.
At the same time, with the new deal that we have, the new sponsor with Dubai, I don't know if you've been seeing what's going on. I think money is not going to be a big issue for Chelsea.
All right. So let me spin it this way for you. Chelsea makes the Champions League. I feel like 1 or 2 things will happen. Actually, let me put 3 in there. So one is Chelsea's board will get serious and we have to back the manager and get some serious players. For example, a finisher, a goal scorer. And then,
Jackson, bro.
And then for another one, a shot stopper. Someone who can keep the ball out of the net.
A proper keeper,
Someone who's not picking the ball out of the net.
I swear.
Another one, maybe a good winger. A good winger, at least a left winger, because I think Sancho needs to go back to United.
I actually started to like Sancho though.
So that's one. Your team will get upgraded. Number two, in the Champions League, that doesn't matter how far you make it. If you make it far, even better.
Even better.
If you don't make it far, even better, because now you have time to concentrate on the league only. Because let's say, for example, you're in the Europa League, you have to concentrate on both. Because Europa League is a little bit a level above the Conference League. So you kind of have to for example, what United and Tottenham are doing now, which I don't know how they got there.
But look where they are in the league.
But the thing is, if you're doing bad in the league, you can concentrate everything on the Europa because that's another ticket to the Champions League. But then if you're doing all right in the Europa, you can't really do all right. You're either winning or you're losing.
You have to winning or legit.
So you kind of have to juggle two fucking stones at one time.
Yeah. But that's why.
And you might be doing bad in both of them. So you might be maybe getting 7th or 8th in the league, but over here you're winning games, but then you get knocked out somewhere in the quarters or semis, and then you're fucked on both sides.
But that's my point. That I feel us being in the Champions League, because obviously it's a harder competition, and it's going to take, all the positives are good, but it's going to take more energy, more concentration out of the players. And even though you might get a few signings to help the team,
those signings still have to play on both sides.
They still have to pay on both sides. And on top of that, the team itself, you still have those remaining players that I still think they're not ready. So I think maybe another year we play just underneath the Champions League.
So the players continue to grow.
Get more, you know what I mean? That recognition of understanding, okay, these are the competitions. We were in Conference League before. That was kind of cruisy. Now it's getting a little bit more serious. And then the third year in, having just a little bit more knowledge, more experience, then I'll feel a little bit more confident in the team going into a competition like the Champions League. But I'd also have to see a lot of development within the team where I start to see players stepping up. Because a lot of these Chelsea players right now is just, I don't know, it's like you're watching, this is a new team. They're trying a lot of things out. They might get successful here. Like the first start of the season, oh wow, this team is doing so great. But then they don't realize it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's like more experienced teams where they Man City's not doing great. But let's say Liverpool, where they paced everything. And then it got to a point because they paced.
They run out of legs.
And then everyone ran out of legs. They got so far. So it's things like that.
But here's the thing with me, I feel like you should always strive for the best, no matter what.
Yeah.
Compete at all levels, the highest levels. To be the best, you got to beat the best.
Of course, I'm not pushing that away.
My thing is, what's the plan for Chelsea? Is the plan to look to 2027? Or is the plan to always compete in the season you're in? Because if you're I feel like every team should always strive to compete in that season they're in. Don't worry about next season. Compete in this season. That's when the money's made. Because if you always try to think about, obviously you got to plan ahead, but you always got to be present and win the games you're in win the tournaments you're in. So an example is Barcelona. I think the reason why Xavi got sacked is because he was talking about this very stuff you're talking about where, yes, we have a very young team. We need some extra signings here and there. We can't compete in every competition. Let's be realistic. And then the president was like, what the hell are you talking about?
But he was
We need to be competing every season. Doesn't matter what you have or what you don't have. As a manager, that's what you're hired for. In the contract, it says these are your objectives and you gotta, complete them. So if you don't complete them, then what are you here for? So he got sacked. They brought someone in, and guess what happened? So for me, I don't know if the problem is Maresca not, getting the players to the next level to compete, or the problem is the players not having the ability to reach that next level, or the problem the board not, giving the team the tools to compete. Yeah. So someone is the problem. But as a Chelsea fan, you should try to make sure, or at least believe that the team should be doing, winning the league and winning the Champions League. Chelsea's a big team.
I'm not saying that I have no faith in them or that. But my main objective is, I want the team to do great. I want them to put their 100% every time they play, every season. Try to get to first. You know what I mean? I have that faith for them. This season, I had the same faith. But then there's certain things where you also have to sit back and look at it as for example, the example you gave, with Xavi, the reason why he got sacked, and he said, I don't think the team, pretty much what I said, wasn't ready, and they were young players. Was he technically wrong? Because even though he got sacked, those same young players, because through the 2 years that he was there, or 1.5 season that he was there, they were developing and learning. And then when he got sacked, they're now all stepped up. It takes time.
He wasn't wrong, but he also wasn't right. Because as humans, we have the tendency to make excuses for not being able to do something or reach a goal, or, make an excuse for things that we know, yes, we can, but it would take a lot out of all of us. Yeah. For example, let's say, we all know we should go to the gym, exercise or something, eat good. Yeah. But we don't do it. Yeah. So we make excuses in our heads and say, oh, I'm too tired when I get home. I don't have time to go to the gym, to meal prep. Yeah. I don't have time to do this and that. Yeah. We make excuses. Can we do it? Of course we can. Is it going to take a lot out of us? Of 100%. Course it will, but it's doable. Yeah. And I feel like that's what happened with Xavi. Yeah. Can he do it? Maybe it's out of his reach because of the experience he has as a manager. Yeah. But can the players do it? Of course they can. With the right manager, the right, environment, right situation, right training, everything, right tactic, they can do it. Of course they can. Man. Same thing with Madrid.
Preach, bro. Preach.
Same thing with Madrid. The players they underachieved this season. Yeah. With the right manager, can they win quadruple, whatever, everything? Of course they can. But you got to have the right environment, the right manager, the right everything has to be right for that to happen. So I feel like with the same thing with Chelsea, do they have the players to win the league? Of course they do, because we saw it in the first half of the league, how they play. They have the ability to win games. Yeah, they do. Is the problem the manager, or is the problem the players, or is the problem the board? It's one or the other, but one thing has to be right. Yeah. If you get the right manager, I feel like you can get the most out of the players. Yeah. If you have the right board, I think you can get the best players you can get on the market. Yeah. So one thing has to be right for everything else to fall in place. Yeah. And I think that's what happened with Barca. They got the right manager, and everything started falling in place.
Yeah, I see.
So look, if I was a Chelsea fan, I want Chelsea to finish in the Champions League, because you don't know what they can achieve. Yeah. Look at Barca. If, for example, last season, if you told me, do you want Barca to finish in the Champions League? I'd be like, maybe not, because we get annihilated. Yeah. But look, they're in the Champions League, got a new coach. I'm not saying you got to get rid of Maresca, but look, if you think you need to reach the next level, same thing with Arsenal. Yeah. If you think you need to reach the next level, get Arteta out of the door. Get someone who's more experienced, someone who's willing to win.
Someone who can execute you first.
Yeah, like a Pep or Klopp or something. Someone who can take you to the next level. Yeah. So as a Chelsea, look, you have to win your last game.
Yeah, we do.
For you to finish in the Champions League.
Yeah, we do. But look, I won't be disappointed if we don't. That's what I'm going to say. I won't be disappointed if we don't. I'll still be proud of the team, and I'll still be happy with the achievements they've made this season, especially compared that to the last season that we had. This is great. I think we've done really great. And the fact that we had a slump, but then we came back fighting and sort of picked up the pieces, and especially knowing that we had the last 5 games that were probably the hardest games or the hardest kind of route for between anyone in there to get to where the team obviously wants to go. Hey, I'm proud of what they're doing.
I think the fact that Chelsea had these hard 5 last fixtures made them wake up. Yeah. I feel like if they had bottom half teams,
I think we would have stayed.
I feel like you probably would have lost at least 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. That's the problem with Chelsea. They underlook, or, they think they're too good for these bottom half teams, when it happened with Barca as well. Yeah. You undermine teams, and that's when you get surprised.
That's when you get surprised.
But when it comes to the big teams, you turn up. So look, hopefully Chelsea qualify to the Champions League, because I can't wait for Barca to first then. That's an easy 3 points.
That's why.
But look. You're a Chelsea fan. I'm a Barca fan. Look, I want the best for Chelsea.
Hey man, look, I want to see. I appreciate it.
I want to see Chelsea, at least some of the big teams, so-called big teams, back to their best. Because we're just thinking about who's actually the best teams in the world right now. Like we kind of name 10 of them because a lot of big teams have fallen off. You think of the likely United, AC Milan, Juventus, even Dortmund, for example.
Like none
even
of them
Tottenham, So
they're all gone, man. They're all gone.
Even City this season. But anyways,
man. Hey, anyways, man. Hopefully these last games, man. What a season, though. Like, before we end off.
What a season for what? For Chelsea or in the EPL?
No. I just want to say before we end off, and I know you guys have one game.
Yeah,
we have one game. Looking back at this whole football experience this season, it's been amazing.
It has been.
It has been amazing.
As a Barca fan, it definitely has been.
As a Chelsea fan, it's been a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. So it's been a roller coaster for Barca too. Don't forget, this December, I think we couldn't win a game.
Yeah.
It was second or third for a bit.
Yeah, but I want to say thank you to all you guys for also being, it's part of this family and
being
enjoying,
loyal,
being loyal and just being in these emotional states that we've been going through with us. We've been, supporting each other and just experiencing football the way it should be experienced with people that you love and people that are around you. You know what I mean? This is a worldwide sport and it's meant to be shared. So thank you guys very much. And if you're new, just press that red button, join the family, feel the love, man. Football's here to stay. It's always going to be here. Yeah. And man, thank you.
If you're a Barca fan, Chelsea fan, there's no better channel for you. We talk about both teams. If you support both teams, even better.
That's even better.
There's no other channel that does like we do. So show us love. We'll show you love too.
We'll show you guys love, man. And until next time, we'll see you there.